The clock is ticking for the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. Even though his contract runs through 2027, his salary will skyrocket in 2026 and could lock the entire team under the salary cap. That's why the front office has made it clear. Extending Lamar's contract is now the number one priority. But everything is happening behind the scenes, away from the spotlight. Stay with me until the end, because this negotiation will shape the future of the Ravens in ways you can't even imagine. You know when a team makes a big move and celebrates, but there's still a lot of game left to play? That's exactly what happened with the Ravens. They managed to extend Derrick Henry's contract for 2 more years, and that was a major win. He's one of the best running backs in the league, and securing him in Baltimore through 2027 strengthens the offense. But even with this good news, no one inside the team is breathing easy yet. The reason is simple. The biggest problem remains unresolved. Lamar Jackson, the team's most valuable player, still hasn't had his contract extended. And even though he's signed through 2027, what worries everyone is the amount he's currently earning. The quarterback market has grown so much that he's no longer even the top 10 highest paid at his position. This creates an uncomfortable situation for both the player and the team. To make matters worse, if nothing is done, Lamar's current contract could have a huge impact on the team's future. In 2026, his cap hit will be nearly $75 million, something completely unrealistic for any team that wants to stay competitive. So, even with Henry's extension, the management knows the bigger challenge still awaits a quick and decisive solution. The Ravens did well keeping Henry, but what will truly determine the team's direction in the coming years is what happens with Lamar Jackson. He's more than a great player. He's the leader, the reference, the engine of everything. That's exactly why his salary situation must be treated as the highest priority. After all, how can you keep one of the league's best players being paid less than he's worth? Lamar Jackson is one of the most electric and dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL, a former MVP, and still the face of the Ravens franchise. But when you look at the list of the highest salaries at his position, his name doesn't even appear in the top 10 anymore. This says a lot about how the market has evolved and how outdated his contract has become. Other quarterbacks have been signing deals with much larger values, which puts direct pressure on Baltimore. Keeping a player of this caliber earning less than his rivals isn't just a matter of fairness. It's also a strategic issue. Players watch the market, compare numbers, and know when they're being valued properly or not. In Lamar's case, the gap between what he delivers on the field and what he's currently paid has been noticeable for some time. Every new billion-dollar contract signed by others makes this disparity even clearer. If this situation isn't addressed, it can cause internal discomfort and even disrupt the locker room environment. It's not just about money. It's about recognition and vision for the future. For a team aiming to compete for titles, it makes no sense to have its technical leader under a contract below the current market reality. In the long run, this weakens the relationship between the player and the franchise, and no team wants to take that risk. That's why it's no exaggeration to say the Ravens owe Lamar right now. What he represents goes beyond statistics. It's time to act. And the urgency isn't just about the contract value, but also another detail that threatens the team's planning: the massive looming cap hit. There's one number keeping everyone in Baltimore awake at night: $74.5 million. That's how much Lamar's current contract will weigh on the salary cap in 2026 if nothing changes. For those who don't follow closely, it basically means a huge chunk of the money the team can use to build a roster would be tied up just with him. This completely blocks any attempt to keep or sign other high-level players. This kind of cap hit is practically unsustainable within the NFL structure, where cap space is tight and every dollar needs to be carefully planned. No competitive team can enter a season with this kind of financial burden on a single player, even if that player is Lamar Jackson. The Ravens know this well. They're facing a financial time bomb, and the clock is ticking to defuse it. The most obvious solution is to renegotiate the contract as soon as possible, spreading the cap hit more evenly over the coming years. This allows the team to keep investing in supporting pieces, retain talents on the roster, and not compromise competitiveness. It's this or face a season suffocated by budget limitations. And at the AFC level today, any gap can be costly. The warning is clear, and the window for action is open, but it won't last forever. A well-done move now avoids headaches later. And despite the silence behind the scenes, the franchise leaders have already indicated talks are happening, though no one knows how far along they are.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
During the offseason, head coach John Harbaugh confirmed that Lamar's extension is a topic on the organization's agenda. But beyond that, all that comes from behind the scenes is silence. General Manager Eric DeCosta, known for being extremely reserved, has revealed absolutely nothing about the progress of the talks. This posture may be strategic, but it does not lessen the gravity of the situation. By keeping their cards so close, the Ravens try to control the narrative and avoid unnecessary speculation. It's a management style they've used before with other players. But in this case, external pressure is mounting, and each day, without news, increases the buzz. The specialized press already classifies the extension as an organizational priority, showing how high the expectations for a resolution are, whether out of caution or tactic. The fact is that this silence also prevents fans from knowing how close or far the agreement really is. The season is approaching, and if nothing is resolved by then, tension is likely to rise. It's a calculated but risky move, because no matter how much the executives say they are in control, the truth is time does not stop, and the longer it goes, the more Lamar's market value can increase. The margin for error is getting smaller. The Ravens know this. Harbaugh has already spoken about the salary cap dance, and that dance demands precise moves. And if they want to keep Lamar leading the offense, they will need to create space, even if that means breaking financial barriers no team likes to face. If the Ravens want Lamar Jackson to remain the centerpiece of the team and the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL, the value of this extension will exceed $60 million per year. That number is massive and, by itself, intimidating, but it reflects the current market, where the top talents at the position are redefining the limits of what it means to be a franchise quarterback. A contract at this level isn't impossible to make, but it requires juggling. The Ravens will have to find creative ways to spread the value over the years, using bonuses, guarantees, and clauses that ease the annual salary cap impact. It's a delicate financial engineering, but necessary, because giving up on Lamar Jackson right now is not an option. He's the most valuable piece on the board. At the same time, the team can't commit itself to the point of being stuck in the coming years. That's where the front office's responsibility to build an intelligent contractual structure comes in. It's not enough to pay a lot. They need to pay smartly, strategically. And above all, they need to do it quickly before the market rises even further or the internal atmosphere starts to sour. Lamar Jackson's extension isn't just any negotiation. It's a decision that will impact every inch of the franchise's future. The time to act is now, before the cap explodes, before the market soars, and before the opportunity to lock in the team's greatest talent becomes harder than it should be. And if the Ravens understand the weight of this choice, they won't wait another minute. The situation with Lamar Jackson is a true test for the Ravens. The team knows it must act quickly to avoid a salary cap collapse that could harm the entire roster. This negotiation is urgent and will define the franchise's future for years to come. Now the question remains, how will the Ravens balance the salary of their main player with building a competitive team? And you? Do you think they will resolve this crisis before it's too late? Share your opinion in the comments, because this story is far from over.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.